AITA for exposing the truth about my family after they let me take the blame for years? I've spent most of my life believing that if something went wrong in my family, it was probably my fault. That belief didn't come out of nowhere. It was planted slowly, reinforced quietly, and watered every time someone said, "Just apologize so we can move on," or "You're the one who can handle it." Over time, I became the family scapegoat, the person it was easiest to blame, the one expected to absorb the consequences so everyone else could stay comfortable. I didn't realize it at first. When you grow up inside a pattern, it feels normal. You don't question it. You assume this is just how families work. I was the middle child, not the golden firstborn, not the fragile youngest. I existed in the space between, where expectations were high but recognition was low. My older sibling could do no wrong. My younger sibling was constantly going through something. I was just there, reliable, quiet, easy to redirect blame toward. When something broke, I was careless. When plans fell through, I was unreliable. When arguments happened, I was told I escalated things, even if I barely spoke. As a kid, I learned quickly that defending myself only made things worse. If I tried to explain my side, I was accused of making excuses. If I stayed quiet, people eventually moved on. So I stayed quiet. I apologized when I didn't understand what I'd done wrong. I accepted punishments that didn't match my actions. I told myself keeping the peace mattered more than being right. That habit followed me into adulthood. By the time I was in my late 20s, my family dynamic hadn't changed at all. If anything, it had intensified. My parents leaned on me emotionally, but never stood up for me. My siblings used me as a buffer between them and responsibility, between them and consequences. And every time something went wrong, the story quietly shifted until I was at the center of it. The moment that changed everything started with something small. A family gathering, a misunderstanding, and a lie that snowballed into something I could no longer ignore. We were planning a large family event, an anniversary celebration for my parents. I volunteered to help coordinate logistics. I booked reservations, organized schedules, and handled communication. At some point, plans changed. Dates were shifted. Decisions were made without telling me. When the event went poorly, confusion, missed reservations, frustration, everyone looked at me. In front of extended family, my sibling casually said, "Well, you were in charge." My parents nodded. No one corrected the record. No one mentioned the changes made behind my back. I stood there, humiliated, taking responsibility for something I didn't cause. Again, that night, something inside me finally cracked, not in anger, but in exhaustion. I replayed the moment over and over and realized something terrifying. This wasn't a one-time thing. This was a pattern that had shaped my entire identity. I started reflecting, digging into old memories. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. The missed payments I'd been blamed for that weren't mine. The arguments I'd been accused of starting that I'd tried to calm. The family rifts I'd been told to fix after others caused them. I wasn't unlucky. I was convenient. What hurt most wasn't that mistakes happened. It was that everyone knew the truth and let the lie stand because it was easier. I decided to stop protecting the narrative. Not out of revenge, out of survival. The next time blame came my way, I calmly corrected it. I stated facts. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I just said, "That's not what happened." The reaction was immediate and explosive. I was told I was being dramatic, that I was embarrassing the family, that I was rewriting history. My parents accused me of airing dirty laundry. My siblings said I was attacking them. But here's the thing, no one denied the facts. They just didn't like that I said them out loud. Over the next few months, I stopped covering for people. When someone asked why something went wrong, I explained honestly, even if it made someone else uncomfortable. I refused to take responsibility for things I didn't do. I stopped apologizing automatically. And suddenly, I was the villain. Family members called me bitter, said I was holding grudges, claimed I'd changed. They told me I was tearing the family apart by refusing to move on. What they really meant was that I was no longer playing my role. The breaking point came when extended family got involved. A group message was sent, clearly implying that I had caused long-standing issues and that I owed everyone an apology to restore harmony. Something in me snapped, not violently, but decisively. For the first time in my life, I responded publicly. I laid everything out, calmly, chronologically, with dates, messages, and receipts. I clarified misunderstandings that had followed me for years. I corrected lies I'd once swallowed to keep the peace. I didn't insult anyone. I didn't exaggerate. I just told the truth. Then I stepped back. The silence was deafening. Some relatives privately apologized. Others doubled down and accused me of manipulation. My parents were furious, not because I lied, but because I refused to protect the illusion anymore. My siblings stopped speaking to me altogether. And yet, I felt lighter than I ever had. For the first time, the story of my life wasn't being told for me. I wasn't carrying shame that didn't belong to me. I wasn't shrinking myself to keep others comfortable. I lost relationships. I lost the version of my family I thought I had. But I gained something I'd never had before: self-respect. I'm still grieving. I still feel moments of doubt. Years of conditioning don't disappear overnight. But I also feel free. I no longer flinch when someone raises their voice. I no longer rehearse apologies in my head. I no longer accept blame just to be loved. So now I'm asking, honestly, AITA for finally exposing the truth about my family, even though it shattered the image we'd been protecting for years. Thanks for watching. Tap like and subscribe if you're into wild Reddit drama. Speech Balloon got an opinion? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you would have done.